Hello everybody, this is Serpent, and welcome back to another episode in the Greyland. Just up here on top of nowhere. Now, in the last episode, we built this, mode 3, that thing down there, and that was the first of the intersection 2 builds. So, now we're going to build the next level. Game on. The next level in the intersection 2 thing, and it will be sort of a hive thing. At least that's the idea. Now, most of my builds before have been a little bit cavey. They've all been fairly underground and tunnel-like. Yeah. So, I'm going to try and make this one not. How's that size looking? Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, before I commit to this, I do want to make sure that I'm not going to be interrupting any of the other builds and obstructing them. Nope, we're all good here. So, yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, I started that out pretty abruptly, and not a lot to say. So, I'm just going to first turn this all to a block palette, and that block palette is going to be fairly sandy and all that stuff, because the idea here is to create a hive system, sort of. And that I think is going to be probably best accomplished in a desert scenario, but we've already done a desert scenario, so I think probably I'm going to be doing a red desert as opposed to a white desert or a sand desert. So that's hopefully going to look good, but first, of course, we have to actually manage to get something together. So this is the patch of land I have prepared, and we need to dig into it a little bit and then make some stuff in there, but first dig into it. Does this still work? No, okay. Slash brush. Yeah, okay. Slash brush. Sphere. Air. 15. Okay, that works. Good. So, like I said, I'm going to dig a hole into it, and then from there I'm going to build some stuff. And the stuff will hopefully look vaguely hive-like, since that's what I was planning on making. No. You know, that might not be so good, the sphere size I've got right now. I think that's a little small. Alright, let's undo that. Get a big lag spike, and eventually end up with that. So, yeah, that was a little bit small. Let's see, can I go up to 40? Yeah. Alright, maybe 50? Well, actually, let's go with 30, and then we will, oh, I missed. We'll go with 30, and then we'll try and hollow it out with a couple spheres instead of going for the full thing all at once, which is definitely a better idea. Yeah, okay. That's looking better. I think that one was a little too close to the edge. No, it's fine. That one probably was. No, it's fine. Okay. So, I'm not quite sure how deep I want to go here. Apparently that's our limit, though. So, perhaps not that far. Although that might be a little bit that might be a little bit undeep. I think I will keep this, actually. It's fairly good. I mean, if you're actually down in here, that's quite a deep place. Okay, and then from here I do want to smooth out all these little creases in between the spheres, since it's pretty obvious that this was made with spheres right now. I want to brush this with another sphere, but this time a small one, maybe just 2. Is that good? Yeah. Yeah, I mean that works pretty well. Aha! That worked surprisingly well. See, it's a really nice shape now. Alright, I'll show you how I did it now. So I figured out how to use the smooth command in WorldEdit. So that's what I've been trying to use, and this is already pretty smooth since I've been working on it. But if we go over here, for example, and dig into a hole, or dig a hole, like that, then if we use smooth on it, it'll make the hole smoother. See, that's pretty neat. And then if we well, okay, so the problem with that, or the problem with this command really, is just that when you're using it on overhangs, it just butchers the whole thing. So hold on, set stone brick. So for example, if we dig a hole here and give it an overhang like that, it's not gonna do so well. So it's going to smooth that, but see over here it's just left a giant cave. So what I figured out that you can do is you can fill the thing in and then use the and then use the smooth. And it just helps a little. And if you're trying to make an overhang, and I was at one point in here, then you might not really want to fill it in like that, like I did there. But that works too. You can also do that. It's just a little bit different, a little bit trickier. You have to do more of it by yourself. Anyway, this is the map part, or the terrain part, done. Also, you can see that every now and then there are holes. That's just because there were overhangs, and it does that when there were overhangs. So, like I said, this is the terrain for the thing. There might still be a few holes lying around that I need to fill in, but I'll fill them in as I see them. Now, moving on, the building I want to do is a little bit different, and for it, I'm going to have to figure out how to use a command which I don't know how to use. I think it's slash sphere. Okay, yeah. So never mind. I can figure it out. I thought it was going to be a little bit more tricky. However, it's going to make a sphere for me, except it's not going to be a sphere. It's going to be made of the pattern and have a radius, and then I think I can make it an oblong sphere, stretched, and I'm going to try and do that, but I don't know quite what these mean, so I'll have to figure that out. Okay, I figured out how to use it. So we're going to make an ellipsoid that's stretched vertically, and we're going to make it out of the hardened clays of type 7 and 12, gray and brown, and then we're going to hopefully make something cool. So if I stand here, the command I believe is sphere, and then the block palette. I'll just put that in as a placeholder. And then the tricky part, the part I wasn't really sure about, is that to make the thingy, you can say the radius, I think it's east-west first, or maybe it's north-south, but it doesn't matter for what I want to do. First you do the horizontal radius, so say 1, and then the vertical radius 2, and then the horizontal other radius, and then that's it. It's not as tricky as I was thinking. So I can put the block palette in here, but if we just do stone, for this one. Oh. No. Huh. It's, let's see, it's slash sphere, or slash a sphere, block, which is stone, radius, oh, right. They're separated by commas. Yeah, okay. There we go. So see, it's a little bit stretchy. It's not very stretchy, but it is. So I'm going to now try and make one. I'm going to do the first one, and I will make it out of the two things I already specified, the two hardened clays that are both pretty dark brown, and then I want it to be maybe 10, or this is the radius, so maybe 5 blocks north-south, and vertically probably 20 blocks, and then east-west maybe 10. Okay. 3. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Oh, I got it wrong, but yeah, I mean that looks a little bit it looks a little bit out of place right now, but once we put other stuff in and make it and actually do the whole building, it should look pretty good. But yeah, I did that wrong. It's the wrong way around. It should be going that way, but it still worked. So it's a small victory. So I decided that I didn't really like the shapes those were making, and then I accidentally ended up using up all my undos. So we got sort of stuck with these two giant lumps, and I have now done that. It's an improvement, but not much of one. That was really bad. That was really badly done. And I did like that thing on top. Okay, so I'm going to see if smooth works on this, if it gets us something we want. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Not bad, not bad. And over here, maybe. All right. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Okay. I'm much more pleased with that than I was a moment ago, which is good because there wasn't a lot we could do about it at that point. All right. So I think at this point we've got a pretty good design. So oops. We've got a pretty good design, so I think what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and try to make something with it. And the hive is done. Okay, so this is where my plan sort of descends back into our previous levels, mostly. Now, what I mean by that is we're going from this open style back into caves. So, hopefully that's not too annoying, but I think it should be, I think it should make this level a lot more interesting, so I'm gonna have to do it either way. Apparently I left a lot of holes left on this side. Anyway. Oh my. That's a big hole. Eh. Alright. So the cave stuff. Now, I was thinking about just making this thing a hill to the top, race to the top, climb up the hill, the wool's on top of the hill. Now, that might work, but I think a much better idea would be to make this thing an actual hive, as in a bunch of windy tunnels inside, and bugs inside the windy tunnels. So the problem with this one is, with that idea, is really just that, yes, it's another tunnel thing, it's another cramped space, but it should still be pretty fun, and I think also that it's a much better idea than the other way. So that should be good. That's what we're going to try and do. But there is one more other problem with it, in that we have already used silverfish and endermites before. I think I'm going to use exclusively silvermites. Wait, is that what they're called? Yeah, silverfish. Silverfish. I'm going to use silverfish in this thing, exclusively. So that should be fun. The good thing about this is that silverfish are not all that difficult to kill, and the only reason they're so feared is that they come in packs and break out of stone, and that's not going to be a problem here since there is no stone. So they should be a pretty balanced mob as well, I'd hope. So, how are we going to make these tunnels? I was thinking brush, sphere, we're using a lot of brushes here, but and one. Yeah, something like that. However, we do want to put the tunnels somewhere that makes sense, so probably instead of right there, maybe, ooh, we're already hitting ground here. It's not good. Whoa. Sometimes it activates way more than I actually wanted it to. For example, right there, I only wanted it to activate once, but no, it's got a mind of its own. Also, that stuff's really annoying. Yeah. I guess if I dig down a little and then press it, see, it plays 3 of those or something. It's pretty crazy how much it messes up. It's also pretty annoying. Anyway, I think we have a plan here. So I'm going to think. Well, okay. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put these tunnels. Obviously, I want one up here. Well, do I? Yeah, probably. But the thing is, I don't want people climbing straight up the mound to get to the wall. So maybe I could have... No. My thoughts are not very useful right now. Maybe yeah, okay. So the only way of fixing the problems that I was thinking about there is to put the wool down in a cave somewhere random in here. But yeah, these are looking pretty good, the tunnels. Should be a fun map. Okay, I've done some tunneling. I want to see what it looks like, though. So I'm going to go into game mode 3, and all the bits you can see are tunnels. So there's a bunch. It's not all that many, though. So I don't think it'll be an overwhelmingly large maze, just a bit of a maze. Yeah, okay. So I do want to put the wool somewhere that you're not about to just stumble into it. I don't want to put it so deep that no one's ever going to find it, but it does have to be somewhat inaccessible. Otherwise it wouldn't really be a CTM map. It would just be a here's some wool. So I think I'll make a little bit more tunnelage down here, and I'm going to try and focus a bit more on making them connect and making a linear challenge like a normal CTM map, since normal CTM maps generally aren't mazes. So there's going to be this maze stuff, and then there's also going to be just this this not too difficult maze, this really simple part that will lead to the wool, but won't be trivial to get through. So it'll be back to a vaguely normal CTM. Not a lot of branches, but difficult to get through anyway. So the spot where the roads connect and the wool road starts is up here. This is still in the middle of the main place, but then if you go down here, that's where the wool is. And I've marked the location of the wool with diamonds so I don't forget. Obviously I'll get rid of the diamonds once I put the wool in, but you know, I don't really want to have to find that again. That's for the players, not me. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I want to do here. I might put some more stuff in the desert though, because it's looking a little bit sparse, and I do want to make sure it looks good. So, what could I put here? Lava comes to mind. Let's dribble some lava around. See how it looks. Blup. 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 Okay. So once those flow, we shall see how they look. Alright, there's some lava. It looks alright. I've figured out where I want the players to start. They're going to start right here, so they're going to walk out like this and try to make their way over there. And they'll end up going through this little choke point here between the lava sources. Unless they build over, which is whatever. So, the next thing I wanted to try is to make some dead trees. Now, I don't think I can use any fancy tools for this, so it's just going to be placing trees. However, that's always a good thing. trees are fun. So I wanted to make them scraggly. Maybe like this. Something like that. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. That looks pretty good so far, from what I can see. This limb here is a little bit straight, but yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. What now? Well, I guess just more of those. It's a little bit goofy, but it fits in nicely. They have spread, and they've produced offspring. Yeah, so I've made more of the trees, and I've made little baby trees. I've put little shrubs down everywhere, and that's probably most of the finer details. Now, in previous levels, for example, the Dusty Cavern, I have put little piles of stuff every now and then, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to get us a brush for spheres of soul sand, and hopefully this will look good. So maybe 2. Okay, so the problem now is finding a place to put these. So let's see, that looks pretty good. It's a little bit rough, but then there's that. Still a little bit rough. Mostly this thing. What about that? Okay, that looks nice now. I'm always wary about using this tool because it can create some problems. Okay, so maybe another lump here would look nice. Okay. Yeah. See, why does it do that? Where's my undo? Okay, see, that's what it was supposed to be doing. And this one I think I'll just smooth by hand, since it's a little bit more... Well, I'll try it, but yeah, see, it killed the tree. Thank goodness for undo. Okay, so this one I'll smooth by hand, so I'll do that off camera. But maybe one more over here, except I've gotten rid of my tool. Where is it? Yeah, maybe here. A small one. And that also destroyed the tree. So, the last thing I wanted to do as detailing for this part of the map is make a skeleton. I think I want it half submerged in sand, so we'll go with that. I think this is how we want it to go, except one more out. Yeah, okay. So I'll make it and then I'll break it down a little to make it look more worn. But basically just a lot like the normal vanilla skeletons, I think. Yeah, just something like this. Aha! I've probably said that too many times this episode, but there we go. it looks pretty good. I have some of it collapsing because of old age and decay, but it's still, I think, recognizable as a bone structure, hopefully. I don't think I've given away too much bone meal there either. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, probably about 22-ish blocks of bone there. And 22 times 9 is 198. So that's about 3 stacks of bone meal. And that's a lot, yeah, but that's probably only about a stack and a half of potatoes. So, yeah, you know, not all that much. Okay, so I think that's probably about all I want to do for today, all the time I have. So that's going to do it mostly, except I do want to show you a couple things that I've done in between episodes. See, over here, back with the other maps, I've been working on monochrome as well as that, although I think I've shown you the Dusty Chasm one. So if we drop down here, if I can drop down here, oh yeah, there's the lag. That means I made it. Okay, so there we go. So you can see that there's a lot of stuff here now, and what that's done is basically just a bunch of spawners. Some of them are trapped, most of them are trapped, I would say, and then yeah, it's just a bunch of spawners across the levels. So most of them probably do require balancing, most of these platforms, I mean, but I think I've definitely made it less absurd than it was before. So I'll just walk you through it a little bit. Basically, there's a bunch of spawners on most of these platforms. There's a hopper here, and then over here there's a chest underneath the command block, which you cannot break in survival, remember, hence the hopper. Oh, where am I? Okay, yeah, and then there's just some more spawners. Now we're starting to get a little bit tricky. See, you teleport into your you teleport with your head stuck in the spawner. Never mind. You teleport, but you can't get back on the teleport to over there. So that's a little bit tricky. You have to break the spawner before you go. Then this one, it's blocking your way to the teleport pad. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more difficult for the people so that they can't just walk and escape, because that's no fun. So then over here is a trap where you get stuck with your head in the chest. In the midst of all these spawners. And then this bit's just sort of, maybe they won't notice this until they start getting shot from behind as they're trying to get this. Just some mildly devious contraptions. There are a lot of spawners though. I'm thinking probably too many, but I have to test it first. I've tested the moist caverns, the dungeon leading up to that, Dusty Chasm. Yeah, that's it. It was actually really fun, which is very promising. However, there were a couple kinks that I would definitely not want in the finished game, so I'm glad I've done that. I'm also going to eventually get beta testers, hopefully. So this is the first actual trap, a cobweb, and there's a creeper there, so you sort of don't want to get stuck there. Now, the rest of these I won't step on because some of them explode, but this one is a harming arrow that shoots you in the rump. This one is okay. This one I can't teleport to, but poof. See, you get stuck in webs and your head in a block. So if you don't have a pickaxe that can break that, you're in trouble. This one's just sort of spawners. This one though, I'm rather pleased with. So you go, oh yes, I've just taken down these spawners. Haha. And then when you teleport, see, that might seem excessively cruel. However, you can definitely escape it if you're fast enough. See, you teleport down underneath this carpet a little, and then you're stuck in the water. But if you don't react quick enough, then you do fall to your death. If you react quick enough, then you can stay in the water and break the carpet and get out. A little bit of a fun thing. So normally you teleport to the exact coordinate there. With this one, you teleport to the coordinate minus 0.1. So right below the carpet is where your feet stand, so you fall through. This one is just a teleport trap onto TNT, and this one's an obsidian wall where skeletons are going to shoot you from the outside. So yeah, some pretty fun stuff. I also have some nice loot in here somewhere. There's some stuff. There's a good thing in the command block chest, of course. I don't remember what's in here. Apparently I can't open it. Oh. I was doing whatever this does. Hopefully nothing too drastic. Uh-oh. I have a feeling I just ruined stuff. Because the ink sac was set to smooth. So I don't know what I just did because I can't see anything. Anyway, what's in here? Aha, knowledge. Anyway, there's some stuff. So that's basically what I've been doing here. Also, all the teleporters work now. But yeah, that's about all the time I have for today. So, hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.